Anglers Extra.
Aaron Canada on the Chatham Anglers Broadcast Network as we anxiously await the start of the 2010 season. And first and foremost, we'd like to introduce a couple new members of the staff and pitching coach Ryan Heil. Ryan, first and foremost, welcome to the team and thanks for taking the time.
Thanks for having me here.
Now, last season you spent time in the West Coast League during the summer with the Corvallis Knights. You guys ended up setting the record in that league for the best staff ERA. Just tell me about the time you had last year and what brought you to the Cape.
Well, first, who wouldn't want to be in the Cape? You have the opportunity to come up and work with the most talented kids in the country in probably the hottest vacation spot on the East Coast. I mean, it seems to be a pretty desirable job. Corvallis was great, though. Corvallis, I can't complain. I mean, the front office people there were top-notch. The whole organization is just a class act. It was a really fun summer getting to work with Brooke Knight. It was a blast. The kids were great. 2 summers in Alaska and a summer in Corvallis, and now a summer in the Cape. I've lived a charmed existence in summer baseball, let me tell you.
Ryan Heil, living the dream.
No question.
So you're coming over to work with legendary Chatham coach John Schiffner and take over the reins for one of the better-liked pitching coaches in the Cape League, Tyler Kincaid. Talk about the staff that we've got coming up here in Chatham. You've gotten to work with a couple of the guys over the last couple of days as they all trickle in from the NCAA postseason, and there's a couple of recognizable names here in Chatham.
No question. No, let me attack the first part of that question. Tyler, man, he's left quite a shadow and quite a footprint to try to fill. We're going to do our best job we can, but he certainly left a lasting impression here in Chatham, and hope we can live up to the expectations that he set. As far as the guys, I mean, the kids are talented. The kids are great. We'll see what happens. We've only had a couple days to work out, so just getting to know names and faces and who throws what and try to mismatch and get to know them a little bit. Come talk to me in about a week, and I'll have a little better answer for you about what we have. But the kids are great and pretty talented, so it's going to be a good year. It's going to be fun. Hopefully we'll pitch the heck out of it and see what we can. Leave it up to the bats.
Now, you're a fairly young guy. You spent time in college as a pitcher. You also spent a little bit of time in professional baseball. And I feel like you might be able to relate to these guys a little bit better than the older guys could. And also with that professional experience, you know what it takes to tell these guys how to get to the pros.
Well, yeah, don't tell Schiff that. I mean, he might take offense to the older guy comment, but no, I've definitely been in a lot of places in a lot of situations, and I mean, hopefully I can help these kids chase their passion, and that's really why I coach, and it's for the kids. That's why we're all here, is to make these guys better ball players and help give them every advantage we can possibly help give them.
Now, your father is the world-renowned motivational speaker Gary Heil, and one of the things that he preaches the most and tries to emphasize is removing roadblocks as far as mental and physical and what have you that may hold you back from reaching your absolute potential. And I imagine you try to preach that a little bit with the guys that you work with.
He's been a great mentor for me from the time I was 1 year old. He's been my idol, and I try to live up to to be like him in the avenues that I work, and he's been a great example of how to live your life and what to do, and he speaks on leadership, and so I mean he's always got a couple bits of advice for me every time we talk and what I should or shouldn't do, and it's sometimes it's nice to hear, sometimes it's not, but he's my pops. I gotta love him either way.
Now, last question, and we'll keep it light. You've been in Chatham for a couple of days now. Talk about first impressions and how you feel about the rest of the summer.
Oh, it's beautiful. I mean, really, this town is gorgeous. It's the community outreach has been impressive. I mean, these guys, they love their angler, they love their A's, as they call them, and they seem to remember every player that's come through here, whether they've made it to the big leagues or not, and have some story about him or her. And I mean, the players, I hope the players realize, that these people really live and die to watch these guys play baseball, and what they do to the community and the effect that they have is pretty impressive. And so it's going to be a fun summer, because I mean, anytime you get enough people like this that care about what you do, that makes it a lot more fun.
Ryan Heil, brand new pitching coach here in Chatham. Thank you for taking the time. I'm Aaron Canada on the Chatham Anglers Broadcast Network.